Hello, I have with me here the TI SR10 and SR40. These electronic slide rules, as they were called back then, came out in the 70s and made a huge difference for doing calculations. And over the years, calculators just got more sophisticated. Here's a TI-80 that has graphing capability. It came out in the mid-90s. And the TI-89 was even more powerful, came out a few years later. And in more recent years, the TI Inspire, which actually is called a CAS, came out. That's even more powerful than any before. And that CAS is what we're interested in this video. It's an abbreviation for a computer algebra system. And there's all sorts out there. Of course, the calculator version, Texas Instruments, is one kind. But there's also Maple and MATLAB and Mathematica, among others. There's some free versions out there too, like Sage and GeoGebra. And they have a lot of advantages over calculators and all the things that came before them. One of them is there's a lot less round-off error because it can be more and more precise depending on the capability of your CAS. You can do a lot of different things all in one file. So not just doing addition and subtraction or square roots, but you can do integrals and plotting. And if you have a more sophisticated model, you can even do simulation and programming. And all that can be incorporated into a single file that can be printed, saved, edited, incorporated into PowerPoints. And so there's a lot of different options one has when they have a computer algebra system on a laptop or a desktop. The implementation stage can even be more useful. A program like Maple, for example, will allow you to create a website where a user can go into the website and interact with whatever Maple file you've created for them. And there's lots of algorithms out there that people have created over the years that give your CAS even more power if you really need to do something sophisticated. So those are all the great things about CASs. There's probably more, but there's some disadvantages you should be aware of as well. For example, the learning curve is going to be tougher than most calculators or even a spreadsheet for that matter. A lot of them are not free, and so you're going to have to pay a lot of money to get the full powered version. Fortunately, if you're a student, you can usually get a student version that is really powerful for $100 or maybe even less. And with anything that involves programming and typing in code, there's going to be some troubleshooting and some debugging that might take more time than we're used to with other calculating technology. And the other problem is that in some situations, if you want someone else to use or edit your work, they'll have to have the same software. However, some programs have players, as they're called, that allows a user to interact without actually having the software themselves. So those are some of the pros and cons of a computer algebra system. In this series of videos, we're going to focus on Maple, but if you have something else, that's fine. Just be aware that the syntax is going to be different, but the general idea of how a computer algebra system is useful will be true for all of them, even if the commands look a little different. And that will be in the next video.